So the garden's very different from when I last posted it. Still looking good, but a little chaotic. It is hot and moist. I've ripped a lot out. I took a lot of the yellowing vines, mostly to my butternuts that are kind of done. You can see those pretty orange ones over there. They're almost ready, so I took out any vines that didn't have any more butternuts on them and left these pumpkins behind. I've harvested my big pretty peanut pumpkin. We got this one, but unfortunately something ate it. So I'm gonna have to give it to the chickens. I had it on this plant stand here because I was trying to keep it off the wood chips. I've had a few pumpkins already where the what do you call them, pill bugs started eating the bottom. So I lifted them up, or placed them on something, but obviously that didn't help this guy out. Peppers, I did a hard prune on the peppers and they're coming back strong. No, this, oh, these are my Megatrons. They are really awesome. If you like jalapenos, definitely grow Megatrons. They have not hit a point yet where they've fallen back. Shishitos, I harvested all the red ones off before we left for vacation, and they are still quite numerous and hard to keep up with. There's a little jerk right there. You can see him. I don't know if he's a stink bug or a leaf-footed nymph, but I'm not too keen on killing bugs with my fingers, so we'll just pluck them. My Alyssa's coming back. It was fried in the heat, but that's blooming again, so that's awesome. Let's see. Basil out of control. Need to come back and cut all that off the top. Sorry, it's busy time of the day, so lots of traffic. I've got some melons growing. This guy is nice size. This is a yellow on the inside. I'm not sure what kind it is. I think it's a, let me see. I think actually I have it written down or saved over here somewhere. It is a buttercup, yellow buttercup, something like that. I'm not sure. Anywho, those are growing. Still got lots of sugar babies in here. And there's that big Charleston gray that is still growing. I rotate it every once in a while. I think I recently rotated it, but won't hurt to do it again. Still butternuts. I can say 100% planting the butternut, Waltham butternut, in between the summer squash definitely kept the squash vine borers away. There's another one of those yellow buttercup pumpkins. I think it's seedless too, so I'm excited about that. My boys are spoiled and they think watermelon with seeds are not worth dealing with, but anywho, this is the sweet potatoes. I don't know if I showed you guys those last time, but the sweet potato row, you can see in there, it's gone crazy. They are everywhere. I was thinking of harvesting some to eat because I've heard numerous times you can eat them. However, there's a hole in here somewhere. Like something's living in here. I don't know if I can find it. I'm a little afraid to stick my feet in there because it's like a softball size hole in that row. So something's living in there and I'm not trying to mess with it. The Rampicante squash is still doing awesome. See if I can show you this one. See that big one right there? I don't know if you can tell, it's kind of orange. So one of the benefits of the Rampicante, also known as Tromboncino squash, is that it turns orange like a butternut and you can store it once it's cured and hard. So I saw it before we went on vacation. We went to Tennessee for a week or so, and I left it. I should have took it off, and now it's starting to turn, so I decided to just leave it, and I'll let that one turn orange like a butternut, and then all the other ones will keep growing. You can see that little one there. So there, more growing in here, more of them. So I'm just gonna harvest those green ones and leave that one until it turns a nice deep orange color. And it looks like, oh Lord, please protect me. Sticking my feet in here. We got one of those. That looks like one of those curry that I planted. Let's see. Is that what this says? It's a blue ballet and a cha-cha. And then, let's see, I'll have to get closer to see what the other tag is. That's one of those. Let's see. Something was a curry. Is this it? Marmalade. Actually, I think it's a marmalade. But you can see it back there. It looks different than all the others. Here's some more butternuts that I'm leaving to get nice and hard on the vine. So it's quite the mess in here. You can see these butternuts, the vine are pretty much dead. But I find that it's so much easier to just leave them out here. Ouch. What is that? I don't know. So much easier to just leave them out here than to bring them inside to ripen, because then that's something else to keep up with. I'm running out of windowsill space with these butternuts. So I'm just leaving them out as long as they take, and then I'll just bring them in and store them in a cabinet somewhere. I don't have any sort of cool room or cellar or anything like that, but hopefully they still hang around months under a cabinet in a dark spot. This guy I'm excited about. This is sweet meat. Let me make sure it's not this one. Speckled hound. Let's see. We'll have to trace it. Is this a sweet meat or a speckled hound? Because I don't remember what they look like. This goes to this guy. So, okay. That's a speckled hound. It's really pretty. And the tendril is dry, so I guess I could bring that one in the house. And I got another one over here. I have to trace the line to see what this one is. This one is another speckled hound. Okay. Nothing from the sweet meat yet. Don't believe. Because that's another speckled hound. It's a little small. Smaller than it's supposed to be, but it's been so hot and I honestly haven't done a great job of watering, so I'll take what I can get. My tomato rows are empty except for but one. I took them all out. I pulled out all the diseased beans and I replanted some more, so we'll see if we get some beans. My little peanuts are still going. From my understanding, I don't dig the peanuts out until the foliage is brown, just like the sweet potatoes, so we'll just leave those until they're nice and brown. So for my tomato rows, I recently went to the Asian market and I bought some salmon heads. So I had them chopped up, dug some holes, and I buried them in these rows. So I'm trying to feed this soil until my fall crops get big. I'm starting those today in the garage, and then when I transplant them out in a month and a half or so, this soil will be nice and moist underneath. I also cleared out these beds. I had some dried up chamomile, some diseased cantaloupe. This is my perennial herb bed. So I think everything, oh, and I cut back this oregano. It had gotten massive. Yes, it looks massive now, but it was so much worse. It was crawling over, spilling into that tomato over there. So I have some asparagus here, the oregano there, chives, and that's my sage that's a few years old. We haven't been here but 2 years, and I think that's about 4 years old because I brought it with me from Louisiana in my green stalk, and it survived neglect in the green stalk on the deck, so that thing's staying forever. I am going to come in here and probably add a little compost and then plant some dill, more chamomile, and no, actually I won't plant anything else because I know there will be tons of cilantro that grows on its own in this spot. I let it grow wild, and there's so many coriander seeds that hit the ground, so I know there'll be plenty of cilantro, sage, planting dill, planting chamomile, and then we'll just leave that and leave this to continue to grow. You can see in here, there's one. Eat that guy. And I don't know if you guys already know, but as far as asparagus, wait until the fall before the last frost. You chop it down low to the ground, mulch it really heavy, and then next year your asparagus will grow again. So right now it looks kind of like a fuzzy hairy mess, but it's supposed to. We'll just leave it, let it do its thing, and it'll get a nice haircut before the fall. So my Kajari melons are doing great. Let's see. Got 1, 2, 3 in there. That one's kind of wonky shaped. Hopefully it's fine. This is my first, so I'm waiting for this guy to turn orange so that we can crack that open. I'm excited about it. This black cherry tomato plant is still thriving. It's doing awesome. I've been eating not as many as I started with. I'm not necessarily tired of them, but my priorities have been elsewhere as of late. Let's see about the other side of the trellis. Oh, I don't know if you remember, I had a lot of pole beans on here. They were the, what is it? Oh. What is that? Garden? Blue Lake. Oh yeah. Blue Lake stringless. Horrible. I don't know if it was the ants in the bed, because there are lots of red ants in this bed. I don't know if it was the Japanese beetles, but I got maybe 4 beans on this trellis that should have given me hundreds of beans. So that was disappointing. I have a couple vines here that I'm leaving. This is a Prescott Von Blanc melon. So I'm just kind of leaving this to see what happens. There's still some baby melons growing on here. I think this is a Hale's Best Cantaloupe. I'm going to leave that, see what happens. This bed has already been amended and cleared and covered. And so I've planted 1 row here of carrots, and then behind it some leeks. And I just used some leek seeds that were pretty old. I think they're like 2022. One thing I have learned is do not throw away old seeds. I had some winterboar kale seeds from Johnny's that were pelleted, and they say pelleted seeds aren't good for more than a year. Lies. They all germinated 100%, and they were like 4 years, no, not 4. They're 2021, and I planted them last year. So they were, was that 2 years old? Going on 3 years old. But anyway, my plan for this spot is to wait another 2 weeks, push back a little more of the pine needles, plant another row of carrots, and either more leeks or some green onions, push it back another 2 weeks, and just do that. And hopefully I can have a nice succession of carrots, and then keep the green onions or chop them up and freeze them, because green onions are awesome. And then in the corners here, I just planted some teddy bear sunflowers. So we've had some rain lately. I'm hoping that God-given rain will give us some germination pretty soon. Let's see. And then this side of the trellis is the sun gold. It's still doing awesome. Only thing is, I can't really reach the good ones, the ripe ones in there. I have to go get a ladder. But I was bummed because they kind of hit a standstill at one point, or so it seemed. But they came back. I think it was just too hot. It's 80s today, so it's better than it was or has been. But they came back, so I'm excited about that. I'll take you around the front of this trellis. But still looking lush and green, just kind of sporadic. This bed I need to amend. That had some cucumbers that were diseased and some eggplant and I think a few flowers, but I pulled those up. So I'm going to pull back what mulch is left or what pine needles are left and add some compost, and then I'll plant this. I think this is going to be beets. I'm thinking beets or more carrots. Haven't decided. But all right, let's see. My arch still looks pretty good. I think I'll continue every year to do one single cherry tomato on either side. I'm really happy with how it turned out. It needs a haircut, but I'm going to leave it at this point. Let it do its thing. This long vine here is a polar bear pumpkin. So I'm hoping to get some giant white pumpkins to put on my front porch. Not necessarily for Halloween. We don't do Halloween, but just for the fall. And I thought it'd be pretty on the porch to have those. And these in the middle are some spaghetti squash. I did not have any luck with spaghetti squash this year. I planted it probably 4 times in the garden. Either the pill bugs got it the first 2 times when they first popped up, or I didn't water it enough, which is totally on me. But everything else has really done fine, but the spaghetti squash did not. So this should be ready just before our last frost. I think it's November 7th, 12th or something like that. So I'm hoping to get a few of those. This spot was supposed to be for, I'm going to step on that, for perennial, like my berries. That's an elderberry. One lived, the other one was here somewhere. It did not, so I'll have to get another one in order for them to actually give me berries. I've planted blueberries in here. I think I had 3 blueberry plants in here that have died. 2 that have survived, and they are the pink lemonade blueberries, I believe. And I think I figured out the reason that things keep dying in this spot is because of moles or voles. I've been finding mounds, little trails throughout here, and I think the voles have been disturbing the roots, and that's why my blueberries keep dying. But it is what it is. I got 2 that are still surviving, so we'll see what happens. If not, I'll look into my options. I know there's something I think you can stick in the ground that vibrates and attracts them and then kills them. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm not sweating it too much. At least I have 2. This little random patch is my okra. I realized this year I'm gonna have to plant the okra sooner because they're quite short, and I realized this spot, this is actually my neighbor's trees over here. They're shading them out, and I think they stunted them from growing. So I'll have to find a different spot or cut the overhanging branches that are over the property line. I'll figure something out. Our 2 apple trees, they look kind of sad. Not sure what to do. I guess I should do some research, find out what to do next with the other ones there. And then there are lovely girls over there, chickens, drinking some water. But overall, things are looking pretty good. I'm ready to start saying goodbye to the summer crops and welcoming the fall things. So next up will be probably to amend this one, throw some seeds in, and then to amend this one and just leave it covered for whenever I plant